Like even the camera that's on OBS like studios, it's like facing the way I want it to face. But every time I see you in Discord, I'm like over here. I'm like, well, I'm over here. I don't like it. I want to be over here. You should cancel Joey.
That's fucked up.
What the f is going on with my life? Oh shit. Oh shit. What's going on? I can't even fucking speak, bro. Okay, we good. What's going on, everybody? It's Tyler, your director of esports for Valkyrie, your hillbilly monk for Valkyrie, and your host of Achieving Valhalla. On today's episode, we have a very, very special guest. One of our Apex players, Mr. BloomDion, aka just Dion, as I will call him. How you doing today, sir?
I'm not too bad. Just excited to be here. A little hungover, but we ball.
Hey, you know what? We gotta have some fun sometimes. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But just introduce yourself, your teammates. Tell them a little bit about yourself, and we'll go on from there.
So my name is Dion. I'm from northern Canada, like deep north, but I live kind of close to the border now, probably about 4 hours away. Play competitive Apex. Been taking it super seriously for the last 6 months, and Valk found me, thankfully. And yeah, my teammates are scrims, young college student, very loud, very opinionated as well. And my other friend Zaynu, and yeah, he's a professional bike rider. So we're an odd group of people. I feel like just a random bunch of people, but we mesh together well and play Apex decently, I'd say.
Okay. Hey, I mean, sometimes the weirdest combinations make for the greatest success. That's all I gotta say. You just mentioned that you've been competing for Apex for what, 6 months now? You just said.
Yeah, I started taking it seriously about 6 months ago.
Okay, gotcha.
Played in a few kind of things beforehand, but never had practice leading up to it. I just hey, let's sign up for this and try it out. But been obviously taking practice a lot more seriously, getting on people's radar, which is nice.
Okay, gotcha. I know me and you have talked behind the scenes, just one-on-one conversation that you used to compete in other games. I think you mentioned Fortnite. I think you mentioned Call of Duty, maybe. I don't remember off the top of my head. I know you mentioned Fortnite. But what made you transition to competitive Apex fairly recently, even though it's been the thing for 2 or 3 years now?
So it pretty much just started because I was streaming anyway. I wanted to show my gameplay to people. I felt like people found it interesting. Mm-hmm. Also, just wanted to stream my interactions with my friends, because I feel like we can be entertaining sometimes. I watched a lot of Vanoss back in the day, and I just seen they would just record just them being them, and I love that. So, but then I started getting a few more viewers, and these are just random people who came to the stream and just whoa, you're really good. You I doing something with it? And I was like, no, I just shoot my gun, do whatever. And yeah, I was just kind of doing content creation, just playing a variety of games, but I stuck with Rocket League and Apex, and just wanted to try ranked was getting stale. That's pretty much all it was. So I wanted to try something different. Played a few comp games, and I was like, this is so much more fun. And it gives you that rush of once you play your first battle royale and you get a win through that, you get so excited. That's the stuff you post on your Snapchat stories or your socials. You be that kind of dorky person, and then you're playing against these high level players, and that rush kind of just goes back to you once you win a game of competitive. I was just kind of got addicted to that and been riding it ever since.
Yeah, let's go back to your Apex career. So it's been about a 6-month career so far for Apex. In your opinion, what's been probably your biggest moment so far as a competitor, and how do you feel about your progress in the last 6 months till now?
My biggest thing so far was we played in Pro League scrims against Furia, DSM, Moist, all just these huge names that honestly we shouldn't even be in that lobby. And not only were we able to play in that, but we were actually able to win the second game we were in there. And we had Nicewig, obviously. If anyone's in the Apex community, they know Nicewig. He's just a huge streamer who covers these competitive scrims. And obviously he signed to 100 Thieves. But he's just so gassed for us, because he's who are these guys? Why are these guys winning? And that's just kind of what people say about us constantly. It's just we kind of come in as unknowns. We're getting more known a little bit now, but it's just so crazy to me that happened and we got to beat like these like world champions.
Mm-hmm.
We did get 12th in that scrim, but like just even being there like taught us more about like what we need to do as a team to get to that level. And yeah, that's probably my biggest highlight for sure. And yeah, we have PSQs that we're doing, potentially could lead to more highlights in potentially making it to pro league, but I won't jinx it. Won't jinx it too much.
So y'all joined right before the first PSQ, about I think it was like the week of, maybe the week before the first PSQ of year 4. And I think y'all had a different comp than y'all did from week 2 and beyond. So what made y'all decide to go with that scenario?
So I'm just a shooter. That's what I do. I shoot my gun really well. Right. And we just noticed we weren't using the utility for Horizon to like of our best capabilities. We're pretty much just throwing a legend in there and we're not using abilities. Like, why is that legend there? So we switched Zay to Cat so he can go into more of a support role instead of being Fragger, and moved me up to Fragger. And Scrims is a really good Bang. He's played Bang for, I don't even know how long. Before I met him, he was playing Bang. And I met him in April. So
right.
Then I can't really, like, I could play Bang, but then I'd take Crims off and then we'd have to figure out where he's going from there. We figured we needed more assistance with like our fighting, so we wanted to make a composition that would work around our fighting. And I just threw it out there because I played in a charity stream, I believe, and I just had to. I tried Bloodhound because I was like, yeah, it's great, it's for charity, like we're having a good time. And then I recommend that comp to him. I think it was during a scrim, might have even been around the tournament. Like, just switch something up, let me try this. And then we noticed like much more like improvement in the way that we play, how we're able to fight teams, and just how we're able to control everything. That was the reasoning behind that change.
Obviously, I don't know when this video will go out. I'm assuming it'll be after PSQ4, which is this coming up weekend. But hopefully we can end the PSQ off on the good note, whether it be a semifinals, finalists, and maybe making a run at the finals. You never know. But that would be a great way to end the PSQ at least, and either make Pro League or head into the CC season on a high note, in a sense. Now, we're going to talk about someone else that was a later addition to y'all. I've known about him for a little while because he worked with a former roster of ours. Shinny and Saz. And when they made Pro League in year 3, they had coaching staff Costa, who was also under us at the time, and they had an analyst named Crimson, who worked with them. And I reached out to him. I was like, hey man, I have a pretty good Apex roster. I think they could be doing something really well. How about you join us? And he decided to. And just, what's your thoughts on them so far? I think this is the first time he's being like an actual AOGS like head coach in a sense. So how do you think he's doing?
I like working with him. Like, he gives ideas that I wouldn't even think of, or like even just positioning in fights. Like, it's the small things that kind of add to the big picture, and he's really good at like going down into detail. And like he'll even like we'll go over VODs with the team, and he's like, why did you do this? Why are you doing this? Like, and he just wants to know like your thought process behind it, so he can kind of get to know you better as a player, like kind of gauge on what you're gonna do like moving forward, as well as how he can potentially alter your way of thinking so that maybe you don't swing that wide, or maybe you just play this part, watch this certain area, all that stuff like that. It's very informative. Like, we have a coach's note section. I don't know if you've seen it. He goes off in these threads with the amount of detail that he puts into everything. Things like when we're fighting to how we should loot. He drew us a picture in paint and told us where to walk type thing. Like, he gets really in depth, and it's really nice to have that. I've had a coach prior who's one of my good friends. Also helped me get into comp and stay in comp. But he was a personal coach for like 2 to 3 months. Like, while I was still working with my other team, like I just was like, I want to be the best player I can be and try to help my team in any way that I can. And I just like work off of him. And so I'm like, I really want to get better at this game. I feel like all these coaches with like kind of different insights to like what I'm maybe not thinking at the time, or not even thought of when I look back at VODs. They're very informative, and honestly, they're gonna help me in the long run. But and it's like he just gets right in depth, and I love it. I have a sports background as well, so I played soccer and volleyball, and like so I have been coached before. I'd like to think I'm coachable,
Right.
so it's good to have this new information that I can work off of and constantly like try to use to get better.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I would argue a lot of competitive gamers were former athletes in high school, or even maybe like small colleges that they just didn't decide to want to go play in college, or injuries or stuff like that. And I believe that helps out a lot of guys being coached, because a lot of people that don't have that background do struggle with coaching, at least from previous experience with me, and handling players from the past and everything. So that's always a good thing to know that players had a competitive background before they started competing in video games. At least, again, that's just my opinion, but it is what it is. Now here's an interesting topic. In terms of y'all's age, we y'all can say y'all are more of the for a competitive gaming team, y'all more on the older side, because Crims is a young gun.
I know you're trying to beat around the bush. We're old. We get it. We know that.
Well, Crims is in his prime. He's only 21. You're 25. We're turning 26 next year. And then Zay is 28, 29.
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, he's a boomer. Obviously, y'all only been under the org for about 3.5 weeks, give or take. Before y'all joined, before we started talking and negotiating, did y'all have y'all ever heard of Valkyrie before, or was this y'all's first time hearing about it?
I know who you were. I had you guys followed on social media for probably since around March or April, because that was my first time playing against your guys' former player Lane, because he played in an all-Canadian tournament, and I seen him there, followed him, and I noticed like he signed to you guys at the time, or maybe his banner's still up. I think his banner's still up representing you guys, so that's just free promo right there.
Right.
But I seen he was under you guys, and I was just like, oh, we go see like who else is on there, and so I ended up following you guys. So I knew who you guys were already. The other guys, they barely know how to use Twitter, so I can't fault them for it. It's ridiculous because Scrims is young. He's supposed to know this stuff. He didn't know what an overlay was until like last month, and he's been streaming for nearly a year. Yep, that's the future of our generation right there.
That's my IGL for the Apex roster. Woo! Now I'm playing.
Oh yeah, we know how intelligent he is. He's a
I know. Put that man in the spelling bee, he's going to embarrass everybody there. All right, everybody. Well, that is going to be the end of our episode. Mr. Dion, if you do so, please tell everyone some links you would like for them to go follow you, whether it be Twitter or X now, and Twitch or anything like that. So go right on ahead, sir.
You can follow me on all socials at BloomDion. I think on X it's BloomDion TV, because for some reason somebody took BloomDion back in 2008 and they haven't even liked a post. I tried speaking to Elon about it, but he's not helping me. At this time, I'd also like to give like a shout out to Jukes for getting me in touch with y'all. Last org I worked with, and he I think he put in a good word for us. At least I hope he did. So shout out to him. I told him that I'd give him a shout out, so that's fine doing that. Knox, my first IGL, and staff, who both not only got me into the scene but kept me in the scene. Much appreciation to them. And yeah, I guess my mod Monty for
shout out Monty.
being like very helpful with my Twitch and whatnot, but also just for being content. We argue all the time, and I just feel like it makes for great content. Which also, to see that content live, you can see me at BloomDion on Twitch.
And the thumbs up like an old man. I love it. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And hopefully, Apex Roster make some big noise coming up this rest of the year for the ALGS Year 4. And y'all have a blessed day or night, evening, whatever the case may be. And we will catch y'all later. Peace.